Practicing your scales and chords is great to develop your technique and prepare for your next jazz solo. But in this video, I don't want to talk about the regular stuff. Instead, I want to show you 5 advanced patterns that might very well break your fingers in the beginning, but that will also feed you with completely new ideas for your soloing. These are the kinds of patterns that Mikey Brecker or Chris Potter practice to get to their modern sound. So if you were looking for that sound, this is the right video for you. Let's start with pattern number 1. So what is happening here? Even though it might sound pretty complex, the idea behind it is actually pretty simple. It's 2 major triads that are a tritone apart from each other, here G and C sharp combined. So if we take a closer look at this, we see that the first 4 notes are belonging to G major and the next 4 notes are belonging to C sharp major. Then the next 4 notes again G major and so on. If we combine these 2 triads to one chord, we have a G7 sharp 11 flat 9 chord. And even though it might be difficult to get these modern jazz patterns under your fingers first, the good news is that you don't have to practice those in 12 keys usually, because they already combine several keys at once. Here you have the keys of G and C sharp combined. And if you would start with C sharp, you would have again the pair with G. So in total there are 6 different pairs that you have to practice. What we also have to talk about is where to use this pattern. This pattern you can use literally anywhere you find a major triad. So you can use it over regular major 7 chords, over dominant chords, but even over minor chords. Okay, let's see how pattern 2 sounds. This pattern is a real finger breaker because we are just not used to playing things like this. But the idea behind it is again pretty simple. It's chromatically descending major seconds. So we start with D, go down a whole step to C, then we start with C sharp, go down a whole step to B, then we start with C going down to B flat and so on. If you're thinking that this is a little bit boring, you're right. To make it interesting, we have to mix up the rhythm a little bit. The great thing with this pattern is that you can just use it anywhere you want. It works especially well over modal tunes. Mikey Brecker, for example, used it over the tune Impressions. Let's go on to pattern number 3. This is one of my personal favorites. It's a 1, 2, 3, 5 pattern that goes up by minor thirds. So we start with C major, C, D, E and G, so 1, 2, 3, 5. Then we go up a minor third to E flat major, E flat, F, G and B flat. Then we go up again a minor third to F sharp major, a minor third to A major, and then if we go up a minor third again, we close the loop and we are back at C major. This pattern we only have to practice in 3 different keys, C, D flat and D. If we start on E flat, we are already again in the pattern that also starts from C. This pattern can be used over major chords or also dominant chords, for example. I also like to use it over 2-5-1 progressions. So if we have a 2-5-1 progression in C major, D minor 7, G7 and C major 7, I would start with the pattern from the root over the D minor, and this very nicely leads back to C major. Next we have pattern 4. This pattern you find a lot in modern jazz. Its characteristic sound comes from using a lot of fourths. Here we start with C major, 1, 4, 5, 2, so a fourth up and a fourth down. Then we go to the next key, a major third above C major, which is E major. Then we play again 1, 4, 5, 2 in E major. Then we go a major third up to A flat major, and as soon as we go again a major third up, we are back at C major. The great thing about this pattern is again that we don't have to practice it in 12 different keys. We have to practice it in C, D flat, D and E flat. Then it repeats itself. This pattern can be used anywhere where you find a perfect fourth to start with. Let's take a look at the last pattern, the 5th pattern, that is a little bit different than the other ones. With this pattern, we work against the 4/4 beat because this pattern is 3 beats long. This is called a 3 against 4 pattern, and it sounds really good because the start always shifts on a different beat throughout the bars. This pattern again uses major chords. We start with 1-5-3 in C major and then go to 5-3-1 in C sharp major. Then we go half a step up to D major, again 1-5-3. And then we go further to E flat major 5-3-1. Since this pattern goes chromatically throughout the keys, we only have to practice it once. But of course, again, it's great to practice starting on different keys so you just get used to it. So these were 5 different modern jazz patterns. As I said before, it takes some time to get those under your fingers, but I hope I could show you that it really can open a whole new world for you. And they can really provide an amazing workout for your technique. It's no surprise that Brecker, who continuously challenged himself with these patterns, had one of the best techniques ever on the saxophone. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to click like and subscribe for more videos like this. And if you want to go for now a little bit easier and practice the basics first, make sure to check out this video next. Thanks for watching and see you next time.